Darnel tares, weeds. How does one define a weed? It's a nuisance of a flower. In the same way as in nature, things grow side by side, so too in the nature of man. God is patient, and we think that this is a sign of weakness. It is that we find that very easily we become complacent in our misbehavior. Indeed, it has been said that the big difference between the way that Satan answers and the way that God the Father answers is that Satan answers immediately and in kind. People who, for instance, to get a boyfriend, to get an advantage, sell their soul in part or in whole to Satan, find very quickly that they receive exactly what they wanted. And so, success in the immediate is the result. Their prayer has been answered. And so it is that some of the great bands and pop groups, some of the great stars, shine brightly and have success which perhaps is not easily explicable in human terms. But the other day I was standing in a graveyard. It was actually only yesterday. It was the graveyard which now is in the ruins of the old monastery of Monaster Boyce nearby. And it hit me how silence is the language of the tomb. There would have been much noise by many of the skeletons therein, but there is a hush above the tombstone, and underneath a mystery. And in the midst of them is Murdoch's cross, the high cross which has the gospel on it, and in the midst is the soul in the balance, wondering which way it will tip. The devil wants it, and so does an angel, and it is not too happy about its poised situation between heaven and hell. The judgment is to be pronounced, and that soul carries the weight of its history, merit versus demerit. There is not a huge volume in that stone, for it too is a stone, but boy, is there power. And there is a din made of raucous screaming, what the scriptures refer to as grinding of teeth. Or on the other side there is ecstatic bliss and angelic beauty. For music is the language of beauty, and those who reach the pearly gates will tell you that they start to hear music that cannot be imagined. Well, the Lord does quite explicitly put the choice before us, and it is an error, let us say it quite clearly, a theological error to deny the real risk and also eventuality of eternal loss and its consequences. Loss in Latin is damnatio. Damno is I lose, and the damnatus is the lost one. A lost soul means just that. He didn't make it. In that same graveyard, I paused as I looked at a recent tomb, a young man aged 19, and it was in the form of a football pitch, with the football poised in the middle, there ready for kick-off. There were even a pair of football shoes there on it, and it was interesting to see what was important in the eyes of the young people who had left these marks of affection. True, marks of affection are precious, and memories are not to be in any way discouraged. But it is not a game, nor can we presume that it's automatic. On it was living the dream. Well, actually, the beyond is not just a dream. Very quickly, when there's no more bodily distraction, that journey of the soul is the only thing that matters. And should there be at that point a discovery that one is wanting in the balance, then it's serious stuff, and there's no coming back. So when the Lord, time after time, gives these parables, it means that he wants us to understand. And he does say, let him who has ears to hear, hear. Their own tongue has brought them to ruin. There are too many noises upon earth, and fewer more would hold. For more can say, a sound well found, rebounding in full worth of being wanted, waited, than said the tongue that rested never. We say all, but only when in poise. For noise falls well when aimed and held and deftly left to fall upon a pause precise that did not yell. For talk is of two silences oft made, and I heard more in gazing on an eye and waiting for an uttering well weighed than e'er was heard when sound was running high. For soul embraces soul upon a pause, while noise was but of yawned annoyance cause. Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, et spes nostra salve. A te clamamus. Sengzone spirire Antes osperamus Gementes and flentes In ac lacrimarum vale Ergo advocata nostra Il nostros misericordes oculos ad nos converte en Iesum benedictum fructum ventris tui nobis post hoc exilium ostem